My appeal to the political parties and the candidates is basically to, of course, stick to the norms. Number one. Number two, talk more about the programs and the development that they want to take, what they are going to do, rather than talking about what somebody else might be doing. And simultaneously, my request to the voters will be to obviously come out and vote. A huge amount of effort goes into putting this structure in place.
Elections and the election commission are the key when any state goes for mandate. Here with me is Mr. Vikas Raj, the CEO of Election Commission Telangana. Mr. Raj, welcome to the series with Businessline. Thank you for sparing us this time. You have come up with a lot of firsts in this election, which we are given to understand will be the trendsetter for the future state elections. In fact, some could be adopted in general elections as well. What I would like you to tell us is, where did it all start from? How was it conceived? And what are the certain new digital apps and dynamics which you have worked out?
The scale of operation in general elections is enormous. So when we are handling more than 3 crore voters, we are handling about 3 lakh of staff who are working on the final 3 days for the conduct of election. When we are handling about 35-40,000 booth level officers who go door to door, about covering more than a crore houses in the state, it becomes imperative that humanly monitoring these things without the intervention of the digital technology is extremely difficult. So keeping this in view, we came up with these various things. Of course, all of them are approved by ECI or initiated by ECI. Whether it was the BLO app in which they went door to door, took their data there itself, or it was a simple thing like Voter Sahay Mitra app, basically to tell the people that you can find your polling station so easily from this, or things like letting people know that they can file complaints against model code of conduct simply by uploading a picture. The location automatically gets recorded on that, and then the teams which are already in the field are mandated to reach there within 100 minutes and resolve it. Of course, webcasting has been there now in the polling stations for some time, but we have tried to put some pilot projects in picture where any commotion inside the polling station will also be detected by these cameras by use of AI, so that we can deploy forces there to the extent needed. Small things like the start of the polling station, where the start of the polling, where after the mock poll, the presiding officer is supposed to do certain things. They sometimes in the hurry forget, or under pressure they forget these things. So we thought we will put these things into a digital form so that there is automatic reminder that comes to him, and there is no way that he can miss out those things.
Are we presuming that the entire mandate which we are looking at is digitally savvy? How did you go about it?
Wherever the interface with the voters themselves is concerned, we have not replaced the physical module. Whether it was application for enrollment as a voter, or whether it was modifications, or even for the complaints, etc., or for the political parties also. Though we see a lot of political parties being so digital savvy and using the social media, but at the same time there are small candidates, independent candidates who come and who are not so digital savvy. So we have not done away with any of the physical modules.
If I may ask, how do you do the funding of it?
Elections, by and large, budget has not been so much of an issue, especially for these IT initiatives. It's more a question, as I was saying, of need based and what can be done without endangering the basic checks and balances, basic structure of security that has been put in picture by the election commission. So now whatever we have done, we have basically, first thing is, we have validated it, whether the process is actually imitating what was the physical process or not. And till during this transition period, we always continue with the old system of paper thing, so that authorization of certain things wherever it is required is not something that is done away with.
Now, which is the app, which among the apps, 30 odd apps which have come in, if I'm not wrong, which you, according to you, would prove to be a game changer or a trendsetter which will be adopted by other states?
When we really look at the larger things which is touching the voters, most of the voters, those are things that are primarily introduced by the election commission itself. So it is already there in the library of the election commission, and those are the things which are basically evolving more and more over a period of time. Let's say the C Vigil app, which is basically an app in which the citizen is explored. I mean, is requested to be more vigilant and complain wherever they see any MCC violations. Uh, we are seeing more and more usage of that. I mean, when we had the Mungodu by-election, hardly anybody was using it, and now I am seeing already more than 10,000 complaints have already come to me on that. And of course, right now I have so many teams per constituency, 3 teams around the clock working. So 400-500 teams are always there. So I'm not so much under pressure to stick to those mandated timelines. But as and when the people start using it more and more, once the number of complaints starts becoming more, and they become more and more, how should I put it, more reflecting what is actually there on the ground. So definitely, one thing is, whoever is committing those things will become more careful in not doing that. And second thing is, of course, the system itself will have to evolve to come up to that level to be able to cater to it.
Use of social media or misuse of social media, how do you deal with it? And at this point, you'll face it more.
That's the most difficult thing for us to handle right now, primarily because it is so unregulated. Secondly, is occurring from various places. I mean, who is doing, where he is doing, where he is doing it from, what time he is doing. So it's monitoring that is the most difficult thing for us to do right now. We do have teams who are monitoring the social media based on various tools that have come over a period of time, um, trying to create a negative narrative or a wrong narrative on various things, whether it is directly related to the process of the election, conduct of election itself, or it could be mutually between the political parties, one party trying to blame the other, or complaining about the other, or creating a wrong narrative about the candidates of the other parties. So it does come to our notice at some times in the initial stages. At some times it comes, by that time already it has gone into circulation.
Thank you, Mr. Raj, for sparing us this time and your thoughts with our readers. Thank you.